Welcome to Benilde-St. Margaret's High School for volleyball action tonight, a non-conference matchup, and it should be a pretty good one. The Heritage Christian Academy Eagles taking on the Benilde-St. Margaret's Red Knights. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Lisa Murphy. And Lisa, both of these teams having decent seasons so far. A little bit of an injury issues going for Heritage, but they've obviously putting 13 wins up so far. They're not doing too bad. They're working through it a little bit.
Yeah, they're playing really tough. They've done really well. Filling players in for injured players. They moved a DS to an outside hitter, which is pretty unusual. They have their backup setter playing. They finally have their main middle back, so things are kind of shaping up for them, even though they lost their main setter. But yeah, they're making the best of what they have.
For Benilde, they come in with 9-4 record, and just one common opponent between these two. That was Orono, and they did beat Orono, whereas Heritage lost them. So they're looking at that as saying, okay, maybe a little bit of a relative gauge. We have a good chance to come out. They've got a pretty athletic team.
Yeah, they do have a really athletic team, and they were able to beat Orono. Heritage defended themselves and said that they were missing some players when they played Orono. So I'm really hoping this will be a really competitive game, that we'll get to see the athletes on both teams play really well.
Let's talk about key players to keep an eye on in tonight's contest. First of all, for the visitors from Heritage, Janae Fugelstad is one of those that we said it was a little injured earlier.
Yeah, Janae is finally back. She missed the first 4 matches of the season. She had a torn meniscus, and so she had surgery, and now she's back. Everyone's thrilled. She's still the kills leader for the team, even though she missed the first 4 games. Yeah, and the setter, probably getting used to setting her. She's very tall. She happens to be the coach's daughter as well.
And for Benilde, they're a team that'll use a lot of middle attack, and Perry Warren, one of their captains, leads them in kills, a good all-around player, and they're a team that maybe more so than most will be able to beat you by going to the middle. It provides a little bit of an advantage, I think, keeps other teams guessing a little bit if you do have at least a competent middle attack.
Yes, completely. We were even talking with Coach Fong, and he was saying that because their middles are so strong, they're able to set up their entire defense around those middles as blockers. Makes it a lot easier for those back row players to know where to be able to read the hitters when those middle blockers are so tall, taking up so much of the court.
All right, should be an entertaining one here tonight. It's Heritage Christian Academy against Benilde-St. Margaret's. Volleyball action up next here on 12 Sports.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
And welcome to Benilde-St. Margaret's High School as we get set to start tonight's volleyball matchup between Heritage Christian and Benilde-St. Margaret's, a non-conference battle tonight. Jay Wilcox, Lisa Murphy with you here as the Eagles and Red Knights, who have both had pretty good programs over these last few years, and kind of interesting. I think that's a good one for both of them to get a chance to play this kind of competition too. And Benilde will have the serve first, and Emma Sather will start it out, and we are underway in the first set. We come to the outside, Janae Fugelstad, but that one's dug up. Good recovery off the curtain there for Benilde. Fugelstad trying to cut that ball cross court, tough ball to handle. It's 1-0 Benilde.
It looked like that set was just a little too far outside the antenna for Fugelstad to have any control over it.
Sather serving tough down the line, and that'll be an ace, so 2-0 lead. And Tom Fugelstad, the Heritage coach, said, when we asked what's key for you tonight, I think serve receive was the first thing he talked about, that we feel we have some good attack if we can get there, but you have to make that first pass.
I think that's true with any volleyball team. The serve receive and serving itself are just so key.
And Heritage looking a little bit tentative here in the early going, so a 3-0 lead.
Sather serving very hard and aggressive, just finding the floor on the Heritage court.
Emma Heiser gets a decent pass that time. Fugelstad tipping around the block, and Heritage is on the board for the first time, and they will get the serve.
A really pretty set by Heritage, really clean hands, really high in the air. She's unusually tall for a setter, and Janae, a really great idea, tipping after she'd swung twice very hard.
Emma Heiser serving here for Heritage, and that pass is off target, but they'll recover. And a tough ball to the outside there. Not much Sophie Weber could do with that one. And it's 3-2.
Michaela Lean really aggressive at the net on that play, making sure she was there in case they were able to get it back over.
They'll come to Warren on the slide, and she hammers it home for Benilde. Their leader in kills, and shows why right there. Got a good pass and the good set from Sather, and puts it away.
Great footwork by Warren, and she just gets her whole team fired up with that hit. And Heritage looked like they weren't expecting it to come at that angle.
Maddie Houlihan will serve now for the Red Knights. A tremendous softball player going to the University of Minnesota. Doesn't really play volleyball year-round, in fact, just during the high school season, but such a good athlete.
Yeah, it's unusual nowadays with how competitive volleyball programs are that she doesn't play in the off-season, and she still has been on varsity since she was a freshman.
5-2 lead for Benilde. Houlihan trying to dig that one up. Great effort there by Mara Lisney, their libero, one of their top players, but good strong hit that time for Bella Lean.
Great pursuit by the libero, but yeah, Bella Lean came up really strong with an approach. She kept the ball in front of her and found the court.
And nice tip that time by Maddie Torby, the big setter, electing to attack on that second ball.
I feel like it'll be an adjustment for Benilde to play against such a tall setter for that type of situation where her hands are already so far above the net.
And Brooke Johnson getting a couple of points on the serve, but then service error there, too long with it, and Benilde will get the side out. Lisney serving. Lisney able to dig that one up, and they'll come right side. Had a net violation on Heritage there, so make it 7 for Red Knights.
They had a really tall double block. I don't know exactly what happened, but they called Janae Fugelstad in the net.
Dumped over, but Lisney saw it coming. He gets to it, and a great block that time by Bella Lean.
A good idea to tip. She hit it really well and at the last minute, but yeah, Bella Lean was just able to read it and slam the ball down.
Janae Fugelstad serving here for Heritage. Tried to get it to the corner, but out as Hannah Miller got a good swing.
I'm curious if they're going to set Janae in the back row, just seeing that she's such a powerful hitter.
Fugelstad looking to even things up here. Her team down by a point as she serves. Off the block and score the kill for Benilde's Emma Bird, and the Red Knights go up by 2.
Emma Bird couldn't take her full approach because the set was so far off the net, but she still got that elbow really high, swung hard, and got off the hands of the Heritage players.
Hannah Miller will serve now with a 2-point lead for Benilde. And it's going to be an ace. Hard to tell from my vantage point. It looked like it would have been close to being out, but Sarah Suits made a dive for it. And it's a point for Benilde, 9-6.
Benilde has come out serving aggressive, every player so far.
Nice block there by Bird. And it will ultimately lead to a point for Benilde as they've put a nice little run of 3 together here to go up by 4 again.
Let's see if Hannah Miller can keep up this aggressive serving run.
Battle at the net here now. Benilde will get a chance to attack. Lisney with a back row attack there.
I've seen that call made before. It's a discretionary call, so technically a libero's not supposed to break the plane of the net, and sometimes liberos are so short, there's no chance they will, but they believe that she was just too tall to be jumping at that ball.
Quick set there and put away by Paige Mazzal for Benilde.
That was just a textbook hit. She came in right towards the setter. She had her hips to the side, and she squared up as she swung, and she found, yeah, she hit a really sharp angle.
Bird going down the line with it. And hammered home by Emma Bird. Oh, we talked about a little bit that Benilde has gone to a 6-2 recently, and Fong Lung, their coach, talking about some of the advantage that he hopes it gives him. You know, I guess probably during mid-season it might make you a little nervous to do it, but they're liking what they're seeing with it so far.
Yeah, switching such a key piece as your setter, like you said, is unusual and would make you nervous, but he's found that, did he say that having a taller presence at the net was more beneficial for the team, and it looks like they're hitting really well off of both setters.
Suits off the block. Lisney an effort but can't get there. And Heritage back to within 4.
We have a really nice closed block by Benilde. Heritage just powers through it, and yeah, our libero dove to try to get it, but yeah, Lisney wasn't able to get there in time.
Lisney chasing that one down, an overpass, and we had a net violation against Heritage there.
Kind of looked like Sarah Suits might have hit the net as she went for that overpass.
So Mazzal will serve here for Benilde. They're up by 5. They've had the lead pretty much all the way here, but it's been close. This is about the biggest margin they've had so far. And she got caught in between a little bit. Mazzal switching, trying to play that ball overhand, and a tough one to handle as it was getting into her body.
Yeah, we've seen really good moments from both sides. So yeah, there is a big difference in the score for the game of volleyball right now, but both teams are capable of hitting the ball really hard.
Suits with a tough serve. They just got to it. Here's Fugelstead getting a swing, but denied there by Hannah Anderson. Warren pushing it to the outside. And Fugelstead will get the kill for Heritage, and they are now back within 3.
It looked like Benilde-St. Margaret's block was a little bit late. Their right side didn't go all the way to the line, and Fugelstead was able to find a shot open down the line.
Suits trying to cut the margin even further here. They're within 13-10. Overpass there and put away by Margaret Wetterstrom for Heritage. And the Eagles to within 13-11.
That was a good decision by Wetterstrom. Sometimes it's tempting to go up and slam the ball down. It's a little more glorious. It gets your team fired up, but kind of old, predictable, directional blocking works just as well and still gets you a kill in the stat book.
They'll set for Fugelstead, and that one is blocked. But wide it goes, so a 1-point advantage here for Benilde as Heritage has put together a nice little run.
We can definitely feel for Heritage when Janae Fugelsted's in the front row. She is a presence, and she's getting her team a lot of points.
And set for Warren, and right on target from Miller, and able to get the much-needed side out here for Benilde.
Great approach. She's very disciplined, and she stays back on the line until she knows where the ball is going to be. She doesn't get too choked up to the net. She gets her arm high, and yeah, she swung at an angle to the left and found some court.
Emma Sather serving here for Benilde. And punched wide. It will be a point for the Red Knights. And really kind of built that lead with tough serving. So obviously when you have that run, when you don't have the serve, it limits your ability to generate points that way too.
Yeah, I feel like last time Emma Sather was up, she serves. I just jinxed her. She served really well, and I feel like she got her team a lot of points last time. So it was lucky for Heritage that she served out of bounds because she has a powerful serve.
Emma Heiser will serve here for Heritage, down by 2. And score the point there for Benilde.
It appears they called someone in the net.
Yeah, it might be it was kind of blocked by the line judge. I didn't see it very well, but that did appear to be the call. Quick for Warren, but denied.
This libero, Mara Lisney, is all over the court. She's covering her hitters and she's covering the back corners, and she almost got that dig on a really strong block by Heritage. I'm really impressed with her.
I couldn't tell for sure if it had been blocked or just hit the tape, but they did not indicate 4th hit, so maybe it was just a block. Here's Warren swinging for the corner, but missed it. And now Heritage fighting back once again.
Heritage's block on that play really scooted over to the left, that angle that she's had all game. So they took that away. I'm interested to see if she's going to try to go to the right or start tipping. She's such a great hitter. I'm sure she can make those kinds of adjustments.
They'll come right side this time and hammered home by Hannah Miller. She's a setter now too, but able to get a good swing.
We haven't seen a lot from Hannah Miller this game, and that was an incredible hit. She got her arm up high. She had 2 feet away from the block to work with. She could have gotten an angle too.
And tip wide. Good idea there to let that one go for Benilde. That was pretty tempting. I'm surprised they were able to think that quickly that ball was going to be out. And can they recover? No. So score the kill for Maddie Torvey there.
Really strong swing from Maddie Torvey. And also a really strong serve, swing for Maddie Torvey and a really strong serve for Mara Lisney from Benilde. They're all just serving so aggressive.
To the corner and good. Mazal able to put that one home for the Red Knights.
She got a little bit close to the setter. She was able to find the back corner, but she got her team fired up. And sometimes at this point in the game, that's what matters the most.
Hannah Miller serving here for Benilde. And tipped home by Torvey.
It looked like a really good pass. She could have jump set it and got it to a hitter, but that's been working this game, her high hands and tipping down. Only down by 2.
And a great serve by Bella Lean, and it's an ace, and now they're to within a point again.
They haven't served short all game, so yeah, they were mixing it up there.
Pushed over, and now Heritage with a good chance to get their offense set. Suits, though, has a block. She'll go again.
I agree with that call. The set is a little bobbled.
That's going to even things up. Yeah, it just didn't look smooth. You could kind of tell a little difference to it. So Bella Lean with a chance to give her team the lead here, tied up at 19.
I would advise her to not serve to the libero.
Benilde scrambling to get it over. Now Suits puts it away.
Now Heritage is getting fired up. That kill by Suits, she was able to find the inside of the block. Or maybe there was even a hole in the block. It looked like she had all angle, and she was able to snap down, and I think she hit like 4 feet inside the court.
And now Paige Mazzal coming through with the kill, evens things up at 20 for Benilde. They haven't really trailed it much at all, so you wonder, do you get a little nervous seeing that team rally past you, but they quickly get it right back. And the Eagles win that battle at the net as Wetterstrom was strong with the block.
Yeah, it looked like Benilde's set was just a little bit too tight and let the middle blockers on Heritage have them. And Wetterstrom did a good job controlling it and not getting caught in net herself.
Maddie Torvey too strong with that serve. And we're going to be evened up again at 21-all.
Oh, that's a tough position to be if you're Maddie Torvey, though. You want to be aggressive and you don't want to make an easy serve, but she ends up getting the serving error for it.
Mazzal serving here for the Red Knights, and that one wasn't handled by Hannah Hollida. 1 point lead now again for Benilde. Cross court and wide, so make it a 2-point advantage, and now our first time out of the match taken right here. So Benilde surging back in front after Heritage had gone up 21-20. So look at Tom Fugelstedt, and has done such a nice job with the Heritage program, really putting volleyball on the map at their school. And we were talking off air, Lisa, very small school, much like the one that you played for, that has just built a nice volleyball program year in and year out, and just a first-class guy too. I mean, you can't find a nicer guy to talk to. And same thing over on the other side with Fong Long from Benilde. Just a couple of good coaches, know what they're doing, and good guys too.
Yeah, they have their programs working so well. Tom's team is so disciplined. Yeah, even Fong recognized his girls are always in the right spot on defense. They're putting up a strong block. They're in the right spots when they're approaching from their hitting. They're getting outside the court and doing all those hard things that make it look easy.
Mazzal serving here for the Red Knights. Trying to see if they can't score the last couple and take this first set. But Heritage still right in it. To the outside for Anderson. Nice pass there, and blocked though by Suits. Denied Warren, and so Heritage staying alive here.
This is one of the longer volleys we've seen this game. Yeah, and Warren went to the left again, and Suits was ready for her.
Suits will serve here for the Eagles, and a tough serve it is, and we're even at 23. And now timeout taken. Boy, Suits with you could see from our angle back here, a very, very difficult serve to handle.
So she's serving sort of a jump float, so the ball's moving in the air a little bit. And it's coming from a different angle than if a player is standing on the ground. So yeah, she just has trouble, and she passed it into the net.
Both teams have been serving pretty well.
Yeah, everyone's been going for it, I feel. We've had a few more errors than maybe like a play it safe kind of volleyball game, but we've had more service errors too, where the players can't handle the other team's serves.
See if the pressure swings back on the Benilde now after they were up 23-21 and Heritage has scored 2 in a row. They'll come for Warren, but it is denied, and Heritage takes the lead back.
What a huge block by Janae Fugelstedt. So Warren decided, yeah, she's going to go right. She's going to hit to the right side of their court on that play, and she was denied by Fugelstedt. What a big play.
Suits serving for the set. They'll come to Fugelstedt and scramble for Benilde. Can they get it over? No. And Heritage rallies back to win the first set, 25-23. So an impressive closing to that one. They were down 23-21 even, and they end up winning on this point right here.
Really aggressive jump serve from Heritage. That must have been nerve-wracking to do on set point. And their setter, Maddie Torvey, is actually their backup setter. And if the coach hadn't told us that, I never would have guessed it. Her hands are beautiful. She's tall. She's setting the ball really high above the net. And Fugelstedt was able to expect a perfect set, had a strong approach, and was able to hit the ball hard down the line. Even if the defender was there, she wasn't able to control it. Yeah, and Heritage wins set 1.
25-23 Eagles, our first set score. We'll take a break and come back with our second set here. You're watching high school volleyball action on 12 Sports.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Very entertaining first set. Benilde led for much of the way, and in fact they had a 23-21 lead, but Heritage with the last 4 points pull out the victory here, and got to give them a huge shot of confidence. They've obviously won a lot of matches already this year and everything, but kind of a good road opponent, and as we talked about with injuries, they've kind of been moving some things around, and they have to really like the way they closed out that first set especially.
I feel like they blocked really strong towards the end. They shut down Benilde's strongest hitter in the middle. And their backup setter is doing a fantastic job finding her hitters and getting the ball in the right spots so that her team can get kills. I'm excited to see, what game set 2 will be like.
Sarah Suits will serve it up. They come to Warren on the outside, and with the tape with that one was not a block, but didn't get it over, so Heritage takes that first point.
That felt like a new play. I don't feel like we saw that a lot in set 1, where Warren came back and did a slide. So that might have been her first one in a while.
Blocked but wide. Benilde started to try and go for that one after Wetterstrom's block was close to being on the line, but not quite, so it's a point for the Red Knights.
The Heritage, I believe it was Wetterstrom, did a really good job closing with her setter, Torvey, but she just didn't get her hands turned toward the court. I didn't see what happened on this play. Oh, it looked like Benilde-St. Margaret's blockers were in the net. Yes, so Heritage gets the ball.
I don't think any of the Benilde players realized it either. So 2-1 Heritage.
I don't think their hit was even over the net.
No, it wasn't. And score the ace there for Emma Heiser. So they go up by a 3-1 count.
Good. Heritage needs to keep serving aggressive if they want to stay in this match. With how Benilde is serving, just their mentality.
Solid block there by Lean. And then another by Bella Lean. Free ball chance here for Heritage. Bella Lean cross court with it, but just missed. Tom Fugelstead thought it was hitting line, but doesn't get the call. So Benilde within a point.
Bella Lean worked so hard on that point. I think she blocked on 3 sides and then got the hit.
A little bit of a misfire there by Hannah Miller, and it was blocked. She took a big swing and just barely got her knuckles on this one. It would have went over, though, but it was blocked.
Just watch Janae Fugelstead when she's blocking. She's just pressing her hands over the net. So if the hitter hits it hard, it's going straight down. And if it's a tip like that and off speed, she's so tall, she's up in the air for so long, but she still blocks it and it still goes down. It's not playable.
That hit down the line is wide of the mark, so the Eagles go up by 3. Brooke Johnson trying to keep the run going here for Heritage. And we had a net violation there against Heritage, so give Benilde the point, and they'll sub in now with Anderson coming in.
Looked like Bella Lean was in the net. She was just being aggressive blocking and made a mistake.
Pass is off target and leading to a tough set. Bella Lean wasn't quite sure how to attempt to get that one over, and ends up being a point for Benilde.
Yeah, it looked like Torvey's set was just a little bit too tight to the net. Such aggressive serving by Benilde.
Fugelstead sends it over, but Benilde an opportunity to score here, but denied. Fugelstead with a nice block on the Hannah Anderson hit.
She just stays so calm even when she gets all these kills and blocks for her team. I'm very impressed with her presence on the court. Great timing. Sort of on a transitional hit.
And that hit is too strong off the right hand of Hannah Anderson.
That is unusual that the player, Bella Lean, walked up to the ref. Yeah, she fessed up. That always impresses me when a player is willing to lose a point just to be honest about it.
So Bird will serve with the Red Knights within 1 now. And a tough serve it is. But nice job again by Maddie Torvey.
Wow, that is so impressive. She's so tall. She's just able to get there quickly. It's unusual. Usually setters like 5'5", 5'6". Well, I guess in this league they're a little bit taller, but I'm just impressed with her.
And able to sneak it through. They almost had the block, but hadn't quite penetrated the net there, and it crawled over. So Mazal serving, trying to even things up here for Benilde. Looking like we might have a pretty tight match tonight, at least so far. Suits trying to drift to her left there and couldn't control it, 7-all.
Yeah, she started so far inside the court and couldn't get into position in time to have a great swing and a great approach.
Suits had to punch that one over with the left hand. And denied there. Hannah Anderson and Warren were there to get the better of that one for Benilde, and they go back in front.
Really strong play by Warren for Benilde-St. Margaret's, hustling out there, closing with her right side, getting her team fired up after a big point.
And that pass by Suits was nearly into the Eagles bench, so the aggressive serving again paying off for Benilde as Mazal scores it. 9-7 lead, Red Knights.
When the backup setter is diving over the chairs for a ball, it makes me nervous. There's no one else. You can't get hurt.
And that time a rare mistake for Torvey as she tried to disguise that one and had it kind of slip off her fingers. So 10-7 now. Benilde has put together a nice run after Heritage started pretty strong here in the second set.
Really aggressive serving by Benilde is definitely helping keep Heritage out of system. But Heritage has been making a few uncharacteristic mistakes that they didn't make in set one. So I'm curious to see what Tom Fugelstad will do when they come back out of timeout. It feels like they should just go back to the basics of passing accurately and trying to get it high enough so their setter has enough time to get under it and make a good decision.
Not a whole lot of difference between these two teams, at least what we've seen so far. You got, seems like relatively even talent level and play so far here tonight. Of course, Heritage rallied back to win the first set by 2 points, and now Benilde leads by 3 here in the second. So even now, tough to predict what we're going to see throughout the remainder of the night.
Yeah, it is. They both have a lot of firepower. They have a lot of hitters. I feel like one difference I'm seeing is the experience level of Benilde's libero. I feel like she just really takes charge. She plays left back. She's able to cover so much ground, which helps her other players kind of focus on a smaller area and play better.
Fong, the coach said, we try our best to funnel as many balls her way as we can because we're a better team when she gets touches.
When there, she makes an uncharacteristic mistake and passes too tight to the other team. Again, we jinxed her, but she's fantastic and she moves all over.
Tough ball to the outside and net violation against Benilde, so Heritage quickly responds, gets right back to it, evening it up at 10.
Looks like Coach Fugelstad was getting Maddie Torvey some specific instructions on serving. Look, maybe it was for a short serve.
Suit sending it deep to the corner and finds an open space. You don't normally expect that to drop in, but sometimes the defense gets sucked up a little bit toward the net.
Yeah, when her whole body's angled cross court and she turns her hand at the last minute, it feels a little bit risky, but she had confidence and she went for it and she got the corner.
Set for Warren, and they're not going to be able to get to it as Hollida and Emma Heiser both looked at it. They both were kind of in range to maybe get the ball up, but they didn't want to run into each other. So
yeah, it looked like a little bit of a miscommunication or a hesitation.
Sather will serve it here for Benilde, trying to break an 11-all tie.
Great set.
And a great block there by Hannah Miller for Benilde. And it's 12-11.
Yeah, it looked like Hannah Miller got both her hands on the ball, just read the hitter and was able to angle it down.
And hammered home by Weber for the Red Knights. They had the disguise of that possibility of going to the middle, and Heritage was a touch late getting out.
Yeah, it looked like Wetterstrom wasn't able to close the block, but props to Weber for seeing that she had cross court open.
Dumped over, but a good recovery made there by Sather. And then Weber gets back-to-back swings at it, and good things happen for the Red Knights, 14-11.
Looks like she's getting a little more confident. She just swung hard and powered through the block on that one. Nice set, a great approach.
Long run for Sather to get to that one. They send it over, and now a chance to score for Heritage, but didn't get the pass they wanted there, and Weber will get the kill for Benilde. Or make that Warren.
Yeah, Warren, it didn't look like the perfect angle for a one. Yeah, she's so far in front of the setter. The setter has to shoot the ball to the net, but she just went hard and swung hard and got her team a kill.
Warren tipping over and had a net violation against the Red Knights, so Heritage will finally kind of break the string here and get the serve back, trailing 15-12 as Suits will serve.
Suits had a really strong serving run at the end of set one with her jump float.
Overpass there, but they're not able to put it away. And Weber gets the kill for Benilde.
Weber swinging strong again. She's in the right spot. She's getting all the way out on her approach, coming in strong, and Heritage's block just isn't able to block her right now.
Houlihan the serve, Suits his pass over the bench, and Benilde now going up by 5.
Yeah, their team is getting a lot more fired up right now than they were towards the end of set one. It's fun to see when they start getting excited for each other.
Fugelstad with a big swing and puts it away. Not a bad place to go when you need a point.
It looked like Fugelstad was just able to elevate over Miller and go down the line over that block.
Maggie Emmaheiser to serve here for Heritage. They desperately need some points here, down by 17-13. They go to Bellaline. Red Knights return it. Come back the other way, but a good block, and then punch too long. Nice job by Emma Bird there, helping to win that point with a strong block.
Sarah Suits did a good job for Heritage. She dug up a lot of those blocks and then ended up hitting it out of bounds.
Lisney a long run, and they'll play it wide. The pass just not on target, and so Heritage will get a chance to cut into the lead a little more here, down 18-14.
Fantastic hustle by Lisney on that play. That libero was just flying all over the place.
Johnson serving here for the Eagles. And a misfire there for Torvey as her eyes lit up. I thought had a good chance of a swing there and puts it into the net.
It was a good idea. I just feel like Heritage needs to collect themselves and just play in system for a little while. Get their confidence back up.
And a Miller with a good serve, and nobody home on the pass. It was a tough ball to get to at all, and then, but 20-14, Red Knights lead.
Benilde is fired up. They're getting excited for each other. They're all serving very aggressively. Their hitters are playing really well.
You see the just some confusion on. I mean, the pass wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible. It looked like Torvey
there.
could have gotten there.
Yeah, it looked like there was just a little confusion on what they wanted to do there. So
maybe this is where we're seeing the backup setter confidence getting a little bit shaky. She doesn't have that experience and as much time as her sister, the senior, to make those kinds of decisions on, am I going to dive for that ball and try to get it to the back row, or what? Yeah, what is she going to do with it?
Yeah, I haven't really talked too much about Emily Torvey, one of the captains, their first-year setter, or first unit setter. They're out with a hip injury, had surgery. She's going to University of Minnesota Duluth, and obviously a big loss for them. She tried to play earlier in the year and just was in a lot of pain, and finally said, you know what, I just need to go ahead and have this taken care of. Fugelstad able to get it to roll over. They'll come right back out to Janae, tipping over the block and drops it in nicely.
Great court presence by Fugelsted. Swinging strong cross and going up hard and hiding the tip till the last minute. Going up with her left hand too.
And sent way too strong by Mazzal, so the Eagles are hanging right in there now, down by 4. You have to believe Janae probably was coming to the gym with her dad, but starting when she was 2 years old or something, so she's a lot of times coaches' kids just seem to know the game so well. Emma Bird with the kill for Benilde to get the serve back for them.
Strong use off the block by Emma Bird. It looked like she was a little tight to the net, and she just did a fantastic job putting the ball down. And now she's serving.
They'll go middle there, but blocked. And out to the outside, and Weber able to get the kill here. She's been a big factor in the second set. Didn't get a lot of opportunities in the first, but she's had some big ones.
She just went down the line on the inside of the block. She found the court. Yeah, really good decision making by Weber when she's up in the air.
6-point lead now for Benilde, make it 5 of the serving error, but obviously Heritage right now doesn't have a whole lot of margin for error anymore in this second set.
And their big hitter Fugelsted is in the back row right now.
Bellaline serving here for Heritage. Weber getting another swing here. They'll come right back out to Sophie, but blocked. And Heritage still hanging in there, down by 4 now.
Strong block by Heritage on the tip. And they did set Janae Fugelsted in the back. It didn't look like she went for it as hard as possible. She kept it under control and got it in bounds.
Anderson off the block and good. Pretty well disguised set there. She went with the back set out to her right side to Hannah Anderson.
Yeah, we haven't seen Anderson get the ball a lot. Her approach looks really pretty. She has a high hand, and she swung really hard.
And that's an ace, and Benilde now a point away from evening it up. They kind of let the first set get away a little bit and trying to close this one out and even things at 1 apiece.
Paige Mazzal again with an aggressive serve, forcing Heritage out of system, sending over a free ball.
Weber. Perry Warren rather gets the kill there for Benilde, and they take the second set 25-18. So this time they finish it off and don't allow Heritage that last opportunity. So the Red Knights even things up at a set apiece as you get another look at Perry Warren with the kill.
She starts her approach in the middle of the court. She makes sure, that she's in the right position, and she swung really hard.
So Heritage won the first. Benilde takes the second. We'll be back with set number 3 here. High school volleyball on 12 Sports continues in a moment.
So I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams?
Here.
Michael Adams.
Michael Adams.
Students who miss 18 days of school in any grade risk falling behind and not graduating. Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today.
Adopting a new pet is a rewarding experience. And shelter pets make super pets. Your new best friend will steal your heart, bring you happiness, and enrich your life for years to come. You can make a difference in the life of an animal. Adopt and bring home a shelter pet today. To find out more, visit theshelterpetproject.org.
Each team taking a set here to start things out, so 1-1 and pretty even play too, Lisa. I mean, sometimes you feel like somebody sort of snuck one out or whatever and didn't deserve it, but that wasn't the case at all. We've seen both teams play pretty well, and I don't know. Again, a tough call here to see who's going to pull this one out.
Yeah, each team is making the other one earn every kill they're getting. Hitting around a block, hitting through a block, serving aggressive.
Sather serving, and we begin our third set here from Benilde-St. Margaret's High School on 12 Sports. Weber going deep middle with it and finds the court. 1-0 Benilde.
Aggressive swing by Weber, kind of from the 10-foot line, and she finds the, I would guess the back line is where it hit inbounds. Sather has that strong serve. Just powers through it.
And a nice block that time by Weber, so 2-0.
Looked like that block got our whole team excited.
Comes with the floater this time. Weber denied, and Warren, oh, that one probably would have been out, but Heritage played it. Michaela Lean got her body turned around there. I think it was hard for her to tell where she was on the court, and it looked like it might have been out.
It did, and we had a diving save by Listening, Benilde-St. Margaret's libero, to keep the drive alive.
Bugelstead tipping and drops it in nicely. She's done that 2 or 3 times tonight.
Yeah, she's really mixing it up. She has a few shots. Just a junior. Just think what she'll be like next year.
And that serve is too long as Emma Heiser tried to go deep corner and missed. A little long and a little wide. It was right over in front of us, so Benilde off to a good start here, and Houlihan will come in to serve. High off the block here, and a tough pass. Not much really that Sather could do with that one, and they were struggling at that point.
Yeah, it looked like Houlihan was a little off balance when she tried to pass it, and then the setter had to pursue it, and the hitter had to pursue it.
Brooke Johnson to serve here for Heritage Christian. Good communication there by Benilde. That ball was long, but not ridiculously long that you didn't, you had to take a good look at it, and so they let it go 5-2.
That's tough. Heritage has gotten 2 side outs, and then they've missed both of those serving opportunities.
Bird going deep with it. Suits gets there. Now Fugelstad finds the corner. Had a lot of downward spin on that one and dropped it in perfectly. Boy, she's accurate with a lot of different shots. We saw it on the tip, too, that she just seems to be able to put the ball pretty much where she's aiming for. And Houlihan and Bird didn't communicate there. They came together, and both were going to take a swat at it.
Yeah, the game is a lot closer now. It looked like Bird should have taken that ball, but yeah, maybe she saw Houlihan out of the corner of her eye.
Good serve by Fugelstad, and then Suits kind of mishit that one, but still will get the point for Heritage, and they've come back with 4 in a row here to tie it up.
They have. Suits is smiling after that play a little bit. Sometimes those mishit balls are so hard to play against on defense. It's not like you can practice.
And again, a little miscommunication. Benilde running into each other. But ultimately, they'll get the point as Hannah Miller wipes it off the block, and Benilde gets to serve back, leading at 6-5.
Good for Benilde to try to get back in the system, just set their right side, a typical 9 set. Yeah, Miller went strong down the line and was able to hit it off the hands, kind of thwarted the defense for Heritage.
Miller with a straight, hard serve gets an ace.
Yeah, right after her kill, she goes and gets an ace with a very aggressive serve.
This time, pretty good pass and tipped over. Burr reaching back for that one, couldn't control it.
Yeah, it looked like Bird just jumped a little bit too far inside the court, and then the set was behind her head.
Heritage down by a point as Bella Lean will serve. And evens it up with an ace.
I didn't think it was an incredibly aggressive serve. Maybe, yeah, Benilde just made a serving error.
Pass off target there, but they cover for it, and then a good block by Anderson. Oops, Suits and Fugelstad ran into each other. We saw it on Benilde's side, and now we see it a little bit on Heritage side.
Yeah, we're evened up now with 2 players thinking they were going to swing at it, and oh, that was frustrating.
They were almost in unison there, too. They were side by side and starting to gather for
yeah,
to swing.
Their form looked really good, very synchronized.
And sometimes it can be just a matter of when it gets noisy in the gym, you don't hear somebody call a ball or two. Lisney sending it over. Good dig made there, though, by Emma Heiser.
We saw the upref signal that Lisney was below the top of the tape. He wasn't going to call it.
And that ball not handled cleanly there. Double contact on Anderson, so Heritage gets the point. Michaela Lean back in.
They're really having to fight for every point. It's only 8-8.
Weber too strong, tried to go deep middle and missed the court, so the Eagles lead it 9-8.
That was the right idea. It did look like she had a big hole in the block, and we haven't seen her make a lot of hitting errors this game yet.
And Paige Mazzol smokes that one home for Benilde. They tie it up at 9.
She does. She hit that with authority. She got the whole bench fired up. And now she's back to serve.
Tipped over and an open middle there as Wetterstrom will get the point for Heritage.
Good idea by Wetterstrom. Heritage has not tipped a lot out of the middle. They could even go to the sides, towards the sidelines from the middle too. That hasn't been done yet.
Outside for Anderson, blocked by Fugelstad, but then sent over. Now Fugelstad, down the line she goes, and she's been efficient.
Aggressive play by Benilde's right side to just try to send the ball over on 2 aggressively. Heritage libero was able to kind of pick up on that play. And they were able to get it in system, and Fugelstad had a great set.
And Suits will scrape it off the net and drop it in for an ace. 12-9 lead now for Heritage. And it goes without saying, but this third set is so key because if you take this one, you go up 2-1, then you've got really 2 chances to win it, where the other team has got to be much more efficient. Warren wasn't maybe how she designed it.
Yeah.
It was a net crawler there, but it'll count.
That outside player was just disciplined, was down low, ready to play that tip, and yeah, then it just dribbled over.
Sather has been a good server for Benilde here tonight, and Suits took her eye off that one a little bit, and kind of a wild swing, and now Benilde back within a point.
We have Sather serving, who's had some serving runs in this match so far.
Outside for Weber, and she gets the job done for Benilde.
Good for Weber to go up strong. I feel like after she made an error, she showed confidence, kind of, resilient just to go up that hard and swing that confidently cross court through the block.
Good effort to get this one over, but it's going to fall just long. And it started with the strong serve. Yeah, you want a player who wants the ball back after they have a little bit of a mistake. You don't want somebody who shies away from getting another opportunity.
Yeah, takes an option away from the setter. And then if it's a bad pass, she doesn't know what to do with it.
Weber getting another swing here, and it's off the block and wide, so another kill.
I love that sound when she just hits it that hard and it slams off the block out of bounds. She's going for it.
Outside to Fugelstead, denied. And score the point as Hannah Miller gets the block, and it's the Red Knights with some momentum now, and Heritage will use a timeout.
Benilde has found a way to block Janae Fugelstead. I feel like that's going to be the key for them to win this match. Even Sather's serve, she sort of did an off-speed serve, let them give like a 10 pass to their setter, and their setter was able to give a great set to Fugelstead, and she just thought she could power through the block, but Benilde was strong, had strong hands. Yeah, and got it down.
Funny how when a couple points start to go your way, the tension's off a little bit. You're the team that's excited, you're smiling, and it can change back and forth so quickly. And dealing with the ups and downs during a match, I think is very much tells how your team is going to be when you get to pressure games late in the season, section time.
Yeah, I feel like if a player can keep up their confidence when they are losing a volleyball game, that it just means they're going to be a great player. They're always going to be getting better. Their coaches are going to trust them. They're going to get a lot more playing experience. So both teams are showing that sort of resiliency in this match. Probably why the games have been so close.
Fugelstead tipping it over, and we had a net violation against Heritage. So another point for Benilde. They've been on a nice little run here, 16-12, Red Knights.
Sather back serving. She's been on a long serving run right here.
Fugelstead. Oh, Lisney, a great effort. Got quite a bit on that ball to pass it, but score the point for Heritage.
Sometimes that's all you can do is get under that ball. And it's a little bit frustrating if you don't see another player hit the ground for a ball that you got into the net.
Weber off the block, or more accurately over the block, and gets another kill.
Weber was getting up in the air. She hit it high off the hands of Lean, who appears to be 6 feet tall in Heritage.
And Houlihan misfiring on that serve, gives it back to Heritage here, down by 3 points.
Heritage has come back from a deficit like this late in the game. So I wonder if they're going to rally here. They still have Fugelstead in the front row for one more rotation.
Holiday into serve here. And a pretty good one it is. Houlihan will have to play it over. Across to Fugelstead, but denied. Nice block again for the Red Knights. As Miller gets it, I believe.
I was trying to see exactly who got that. She was almost a solo block. The middle was late, and she just took the whole ball.
Lisney serving. Tipped over. Fugelstedt pushes it to the outside, but the Red Knights get there. Now Bird. Fugelstedt rolling that one down the line. Great dig made there by Sather. And the slide to Bellaline, and she puts it home.
Heritage made that play look easy. I'd like to see more of that slide from Lean. A sharp angle.
Fugelstedt serving, her team down 3. And down the line and good by Hannah Miller.
Hannah Miller's been getting clutch points for Benilde.
Yeah, they've really spread things out as far as who's going to come through it. At various times, it's been Weber, it's occasionally been Warren, it's been Miller, and Bird has done some, and also Mazal has had some good opportunities too.
And they're all able to do different things with the ball. We've seen them, I feel like we've seen them all tip, we've seen them pound the ball, and we've seen them just kind of get that controlled ball in play too.
Off the block, and Mazal gets the kill there for Benilde.
Good decision by Mazal. She could have pounded that one and it would have hit her in the face from the block. She kind of did an off-speed, high-off hands and got the kill.
So they reach 20 now and 5 points away from taking the set. Dumped over there by Torvey, and that one's going to be too long.
It looks like the Heritage player is calling that she touched it. Maddie Torvey, the setter. Still so classy that they do that.
So score the point instead for Benilde. Make it 21-16. And the kill recorded by Suits.
Strong swing by Bella Lean. Was that who hit it for Heritage?
Suits.
Suits.
And Weber able to put that one away. Didn't get a full approach, and she was off the net a ways, but still just excellent placement. Heritage lost their defensive shape a little bit there, left a pretty big gap in the middle.
Yeah, it kind of looked like they were like lost out of formation a little bit.
Mazal to serve here for the Red Knights. Oh, great try by Fugelstedt, but nobody could get that pass up. So a 6-point lead now for Benilde. And timeout Heritage.
Heritage is playing really hard. They're hitting the ground for the ball. But things just don't seem to be going their way right now. And Benilde is hitting the ball kind of haphazard sometimes off the net from the 12-foot line, and they're just doing great.
Again, occasionally struggling with serve receive like we saw right there. They're seem to be fighting some of these off more than really being able to get a good, clean, crisp pass.
I feel like Coach Fugelstedt said that at the beginning of the game. That was one thing that they were going to try to be improving on this season, and they've been practicing and focusing on. And yeah, if they could do that well, they could handle this matchup.
Benilde trying to put this one away like they did in set 2. The first one they had a lead late but didn't hold it. And into the net, hitting Aaron Fugelstedt there. So 24-17 Red Knights. And Mazal trying to close it out.
Looked like Fugelstedt just jumped a little bit too early, but didn't look like the ball even made it to the front row.
And serving at the libero quite a bit here. Dug up, but over. And Warren gets a free ball chance, and she knows what to do with that one and puts it away, and the Red Knights take the third set here, 25-17. Again, a little trouble with the serve, and ultimately it leads to Warren getting a rather easy opportunity.
Yeah. It was sort of an identical play of the point before where Janae had to hit it from the back row. Yeah, and Warren did a good job kind of changing the direction of the game and hitting to the opposite corner.
Sometimes you get so excited on those that you either hit into the net or spray it way long, but didn't do it there. Warren just took what was there, puts it away. 25-17 Red Knights. They're dancing here after taking sets 2 and 3. We will be back with the 4th set here from Benilde-St. Margaret's High School. You're watching volleyball action on 12 Sports.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
That's low, that's low. That's low. Look, he's blushing.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Heritage pulled out a close one in the first set, and then it is Benilde prevailing, 25-18 and 17 the last two. So the Red Knights leading 2-1 as we head to the 4th set. Along with Lisa Murphy, I'm Jay Wilcox, and Benilde just sharpening things up a little bit, making us a little bit fewer mistakes than they did, I think, in that first one. And Heritage, meanwhile, is just struggling a little bit with serve receive, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that's the weakest point for Heritage is their serve receive. It feels like they get the ball in the back row and they're trying to hit from the back row a little bit too often. Benilde also finding a way to hit around Heritage's block in set 2 and 3 really helped them win.
Suits serving it up here for Heritage as we are underway in the 4th. And off the curtain, they will be able to recover it here. They're going to come back outside to Weber. She's had the hot hand as the match has gone on. And Fugelstad gets the kill for Heritage. Boy, it really looked like, and in fact, they probably benefited from hitting that curtain. Looked like the point was going to be over, but they never gave up on it.
Thank goodness for the curtain. Yeah, they pulled out that point. It was a long volley for point 1 of this game. Looked like they're really excited. They had a couple strong hits. Benilde had a lot of defensive digs, too.
Cross court with it goes Sophie Weber. And she has been money in the bank for the most part here for Benilde when they've gotten her involved.
Yeah, we're seeing a cut shot from Sophie Weber here. She's going inside that middle blocker's hand and towards the sideline of the court. We don't have, yeah, Heritage didn't have a defender there, so it was wide open.
Houlihan with the serve. Warren a good block there. Then Fugelstad dug up. And Hannah Miller gets a big swing at that one.
Impressive hit by Hannah Miller. It didn't look like she had a lot of room for an approach. Everything was very condensed, but she still had so much power.
And obviously you practice over and over again your approach, and you want to have a great approach every time, but let's face it, it isn't always going to be everything's perfect. So when you can make the scramble plays, it really helps.
Yeah, the best players can just keep adapting to bad passes or bad sets.
Perry Warren coming through there for Benilde. 3-1 Red Knights lead.
It looks like Benilde's been picking up Janae Fugelsed's tips. They were even able to block that one, which had been successful for her earlier in the match. I'm curious to see if she's going to start mixing it up and try a different shot.
And she hits the antenna with that one, so 4-1. We talked earlier about how efficient she'd been, but they've done some adjusting to take some things away from her a little bit.
Yeah, when you get blocked a few times, it kind of gets in your head, discourages you a little bit, gets flustered.
They'll come right back to Janae. Cross court, cuts this one, and scores the point.
A lot of topspin on that. It looked like she was a little bit farther off the net than someone my height would be comfortable doing a cut shot from. She had a lot of topspin, and she was able to hit the sideline.
Maggie Emmelheiser serving here for Heritage. That pass, a tough one into the net. Warren ends up punching it over. And a quick set there, Torvey to Bellaline, and puts it home. They're about the same height, and she's able to time that one well.
That's so hard to play defense against. It almost was an off-speed hit, maybe even a miss hit. Hard to tell where it's going, and libero diving.
And Heritage will even things up. It looked like from our vantage point that one might have possibly been out, but Benilde played it, and ultimately it cost them. So 4-4.
Heritage doing a good job keeping the serve away from that senior libero for Benilde.
And here is Lisney sending it over. Back for Bellaline, chips over the block and drops it in. And Heritage, after Benilde had gotten off to a good start, rattles off a few in a row here. 5-4 Eagles.
That quick 31 has got them 2 points in a row with a hit and a tip.
And this one put away by Bird. I think they expected that set to the middle and instead shot it across, and Bird hammers it home.
Yeah, Bird didn't have to hit around the block. The block was a little bit further out towards the line. Maybe the set pulled her in a little bit. But yeah, she got there fast enough so that she could hit strong.
Lisney with an excellent serve. Suits dives to get it. Wiped off the block there, and Miller will score the point for the Red Knights. They go back in front.
A strong swing. Yeah, it looked like Janae just didn't have her hands turned in towards the court.
And there's an ace. And a 7-5 Benilde lead.
Was that Lisney who served the ace?
And make it another ace. 8-5 Benilde. And Lisney had a good run, but it had to end sometime as she serves into the net.
It did. Too bad it was on an error.
So an 8-6 score here as Johnson will get ready to serve.
We have a lot of height in the front row for Heritage right now.
Block was a touch late getting there, and Bird gets the kill for Benilde.
Yeah, Bird just went for it cross court and found a misblocked time. A mistimed block.
Either way. Suits just able to get that one, but this one is going to be wide. I'm sorry, not. It was in. So Heritage will get the point there. Everybody was just kind of watching. They were hoping it was wide.
Yeah,
it's definitely in.
It looked like Lisney could have gotten it if she wanted it. I probably would have called that set.
And now it's called on Heritage for a ball handling error there.
Those are tough to call those in the moment when you see them happen. Was it over-controlled? Was it under control?
Benilde leading it by 3 now. Bird with the serve. Overpass there, but didn't time it quite right.
Wow.
Suits denied by Hannah Anderson.
Strong block by Hannah Anderson. It looked like she even surprised herself. When you see a player press over the net and kind of crunch their abdominal muscles, you know that the ball's going to go straight down.
Good block by Lean. And that'll lead to the point for Heritage. So Bella Lean will serve here for the Eagles with the 3-point deficit. Make it 2. Strong serve. Seems like both teams, maybe Benilde even more so, have kind of done a good job of identifying who's struggling on serve receive a little bit and attacking them, and that's all part of it. I mean, that's not being mean. You have to press the advantage where you see it.
You really do, and having the skill to serve to the exact player that they're trying to get it to, or a spot on the court.
That one was wide. Tried to really be aggressive and maybe a little too fine. I guess that's always the case. If it's in, it's great. If it isn't, then you kind of question, hey, you're being too aggressive. But
it's such a tough line to walk.
Mazzal serving here for the Red Knights, leading by 3. They lead 2-1 on the overall match. Suits with the tip. Red Knights are there. Well, Warren pushing it to the outside, but just missed.
Good decision by Hannah Halada to not go for that ball. She could have gotten it. It was tempting.
Torvey the serve. Tough ball to pass. Lisney gets it pretty well under control. Weber and Suits hustling, gets to it, and they're able to send it over. Here's Weber, cross court again. Good coverage by Suits. Lisney in the right spot as she usually is. And Warren missed it.
It looked like we had a call by a referee. Was it on Benilde?
Yeah, looks like it was.
Okay. Same outcome then.
Yeah, hit was wide also, but so the Eagles get the point.
But she doesn't get a kill.
Chipped over. Warren trying to get it on the way down there, and then a battle. And will be Heritage points, so they go up, or excuse me, tie things up at 12-12.
Looked like another messy play. Looks like the refs are trying to talk to each other.
And missing wide, trying to go down the line was Maddie Torvey. So Benilde goes back in front 13-12 on the serving error. But Heritage, I think, an important stretch of points for them there to fight back to even it up.
Yeah, you don't want to be far behind in the middle of a game like this.
It really, especially when you've already lost 2, I mean, it wears on you mentally. It starts to feel like you're way behind, even if you're not.
Yeah. Just the effort and momentum it would take to catch back up and win. Seems overwhelming. That was a really good decision by Heritage's setter. And we have Janae Fugelsted back in the game.
Suits will serve it here for Heritage, even up at 13.
Ooh.
And misfires there with that jump serve. And a little wipe out there for Sather, and her teammates are giving her some grief right there.
Did she slip?
She slipped on a wet spot on the floor as they were starting to celebrate, and she kind of almost tumbled into their little huddle here. Watch her. And down she goes.
Oh, poor girl.
Well,
and we did a replay of it.
The good news is, though, that she's not hurt.
Yes.
And that's what you're worried about in a play like that. And they get the ace. You can laugh about it when you get up and you're fine.
You can. And when your team's in the lead, it makes it a little bit easier. Well, the fact that they're so relaxed that they can tease her is a good sign.
Houlihan trying to score another point with the serve.
That was an amazing save.
Off the block, they'll go again here. Bird. Lean sends it over. Lisney a good pass. And Houlihan sends it across. Good long rally here. Who's going to take it? Nice pass by Suits. Lisney trying to keep it up, but they can't pull it off the net. And ultimately the point goes to Heritage, and we'll see if that gives them a little shot in the arm.
Oh, that was a fantastic volley. And I feel like one of the first plays was when Torvey punch saved it from it going over the net.
Way across with it. Fugelstead tipping. Good recovery by the Red Knights, though. Both teams moving well right here, these last few points. Nice block by Warren. Lisney trying to dig that one up, but couldn't get it up enough. And Heritage is fighting back again here and ties it up.
Heritage is doing a good job having someone out of system, usually from the back left. Get it into a position where a player can take a hit at it.
Oh, and Warren will come through with that one. Just about a forehead shot on Suits.
A strong approach. Yeah, and it did look like she was headed for Suits' face with the ball.
Good chance to score it here for the Eagles. They go right side, and the kill recorded by Michaela Lean. And they even it back up again.
Great positioning by Michaela Lean. And a great set by Torvey. The perfect spot.
And denied there by Lean. Bella Lean, that is. So 17-16 lead for Heritage.
With girls that height on Heritage's block, I think Benilde will have to speed up that middle hit to get it to be effective.
Brooke Johnson serving. Give Heritage credit. They have fought back and stayed in this one. And that one's going to drop in as not real pretty, but Bird able to find an open space there.
Bird had enough topspin, yeah, that it landed shorter than Heritage players thought it would. Good idea by Bird.
Hannah Miller serving here, 17 all. Oh, and just long. Johnson was about to play it and was called off.
These long volleys, we've had all that adrenaline. I feel like that's when we see a lot of players serve out of bounds.
Nice dig by Lisney. And good recovery there after the hit was blocked. Slide to the outside. Bella Lean has it dug up by Houlihan. Will come to Suits. Now it is Fugelstead. Houlihan, though, dug that one up and knocked over by Anderson.
Anderson is thrilled with that play, putting an end to a long volley.
Huge long rally, and
she didn't even try to disguise it. She only went up with her right hand, but it was in the right spot.
Bird will serve here for Benilde. Pushed over, and now a chance for Heritage to score, and they do. Bella Lean off the set from Torvey.
Well executed play. With the setter pulled off the net, the setter has to shoot the ball to the net, and the hitter has to make contact with it before it would go over. You can tell they've practiced that one.
Bella Lean serving here. And that one is wide, and now back to even up, 19-19.
It looked like she took her eye off the ball a little bit while she was serving. Tight game.
Mazal serves for Benilde here. Suits had it blocked. They recover, though. Here's Weber getting a crack at it, and she scores. Timeout, Tom Fugelstad, as Benilde goes up 20-19.
Looks like we've had a lot of long volleys, and then we'll have just some unforced errors on part of either of the teams. Good control by Suits to get it inbounds, just on the ground, her second attempt. But yeah, Benilde is just able to put it away.
A little bit of maybe overreach there, trying to play a ball that wasn't hers. I think it was Brooke Johnson stepped in front of the libero there, kind of reached with the punch, and that's where you get, the communication and playing together. It looked like probably it was going to be playable behind her, but you make an effort.
Yeah, when the stakes are high, every player wants to contribute, and sometimes you end up making the ball much more hard to play than actually being helpful.
Is all serving here for the Red Knights. Come out to Suits, but it's too long. 2-point lead, Benilde.
Suits passed the ball and did a good job getting outside in transition. It didn't look like the set was all the way to the antenna, and she ended up hitting it long.
Tough serve there, but Suits gets to it. And tipped over by Wetterstrom.
Risky tip, but it paid off for Wetterstrom. Looked like she was a little bit late to the setter and then dodged the block.
Maddie Torvey serving here for the Eagles, down by a point. Nice block, and then swatted over. Oh, that's going to be out. Well, that's a little bit of a break for Benilde. That set was way outside, and it was a tough ball to control by Weber, but went off the block.
Yeah, was it headed towards the...
I'm not sure that ball was going to be in, but
I don't think it was.
Michaela Lean was there trying to block.
Nice pass.
And able to sneak that one right through as Michaela Lean, as the block was late to close. 22-21 now.
Nice strong swing by Michaela Lean.
Suit serving here for the Eagles. They really haven't shown any signs of giving it in or getting frustrated. And there's an ace. 22 apiece.
Yeah, when you're still able to jump float serve, when you're down 21-22, it just shows a lot of confidence.
There's Weber cutting that one nicely again. So Sophie Weber has been big tonight for Benilde. 23-22, Red Knights.
It looked like Wetterstrom floated on the block a little bit, and Suits maybe didn't know exactly where to play her defense.
Maddie Houlihan to serve here for Benilde. Fugelstad had a block. They were able to recover though. Whoa, and almost didn't go for that one. And the kill recorded by Bird, as the block was a touch late. She attacked that one quickly, and now 24-22.
Very excited, and the Bird after that outside hit.
Yeah, they've been kind of denying her a little bit lately, and hasn't had a great, stretch from, and able to come up with a clutch kill right there, though.
Yeah, earning point 24 for your team. So they're serving next, game point. An aggressive serve inbounds. And if I were Heritage, I would just focus on getting that pass to the setter. And getting those high outside sets have been working for Heritage. Or that quick 31 to those tall middles. That's been, I feel like that's had a pretty successful kill ratio as well.
Benilde will be on the road next week. They're at Cooper and at Kennedy in the new Metro West Conference. Heritage is packed coming up next Tuesday. Fugelstad trying to go down the line and is able to get it done. 24-23.
Again, that is a brave shot when your whole body is facing cross court and you don't get to swing your arm body line. You turn your wrist towards the end of your shot, and it's hard to control. So very brave move. She's practiced it, and she hit the corner.
And put away for the win. Emma Bird getting the kill for Benilde-St. Margaret's. And they will win it 25-23. And we said early on it looked like it was going to be pretty close all night long. And we're seeing that. Heritage closed strong in the first set and pulled out a 25-23 win. And then 3 pretty close wins, especially this 4th one for Benilde after that.
Yeah, Benilde just made the right adaptations to Heritage's height, Heritage's block, and yeah, their swings.
Another look at how it ends, and you kind of like when it ends with a clean point too.
Yeah, not like a net violation that the ref has to call. Great swing by Emma Bird.
She's really excited, and you see, like we talked about earlier, they got quite a few contributions from a lot of their hitters tonight too.
Yeah, we weren't saying the same player's name over and over today.
So it is Benilde downing Heritage in 4, the 10th win of the season for the Red Knights. They're now 10-4, and Heritage drops to 13-9, but I think a good match on the road that'll help them as well as they get set for the rest of their season. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this one tonight here from Benilde-St. Margaret's High School. For Lisa Murphy and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Again, it is Benilde-St. Margaret's over Heritage in 4.
Thank you.